There is a purported freedom of speech in Nigeria, but there is no freedom after the speech. How many of you remember the interview granted by Ndume some days ago?
This government is going down, and that is because it's. Yesterday, I did not say it is taken over or polluted by plutocrats. No. If it were plutocrats, it would be better. But this government, and you can quote me on that, is now run by kakistocrats. Look, somebody has to do this. I'm 64 years old. I thank God for everything. And I think what is left to me as a politician or expected of me is to speak out the truth to whoever he is.
And today, the Senate has sacked this man as the Senate chief whip. They said he's criticizing Tinubu, that he is releasing or bringing the family matter to the public. So this man, as a senator who have been in the Senate for years, his crime is that he is speaking forth. He is speaking and condemning the policies of this government, and they have to sack him.
Now we have a big challenge, and that is the threat of hunger and food scarcity. It is not only that the prices or inflation has gone up to 40%, but it has gotten in some places where you will not, with your money, you won't find the food or the items you want to buy. That is very, very dangerous, and Nigeria has never been included in the countries that face severe food crisis or food insecurity. But this time around, check the figures recently, published by UN, World Food Program, Action Against Hunger, CADE Harmonize. They rank Nigeria as one of the hotspots. And for people like me, I have to be scared. As I told you, I'm 64 years old with 10 children and 20 grandchildren. I don't have passport or visa to anywhere. You have more than one passport, I know. But
what do you mean I have more than one?
I know you
We're
stay
not
in
talking
London.
about me, we're talking about you.
You stay in Nigeria, you stay in London, and you can go to London tomorrow morning. I cannot do that because I don't have visa to anywhere.
Breaking news, Senate sacks Ndume as chief whip, ask him to resign from APC. Senator Mohammed Andi Ndume, Borno South, has been removed as chief whip by the Senate. The decision was supported by the members of All Progressive Congress, APC. Senate caucus through a voice, voted led by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio joining the plenary section on Wednesday.
But as I said, and I'm on TV, I speak straight.
Indeed.
If there's anybody that will, say what I'm saying is not true, can come up tomorrow and talk to Charles. This government is going down, and that is because it's. Yesterday, I did not say it is taken over or polluted by plutocrats. No. If it were plutocrats, it would be better. But this government, and you can quote me on that, is now run by kakistocrats. And that's very, very dangerous.
Explain.
Kakistocrats? I have it here. You can check the definition. It's a government run by worst, least qualified, and most unscrupulous citizens. I'm not the first one that says.
Right.
What I'm hoping now is that he will look out and get. I don't believe, again I say, that he is in the real picture of what is happening out there. People are angry. You can't imagine the number of calls I received today, including yourself.
I called you very early in the morning.
Yeah, but what were you saying? Hey, you are yourself again, because you say it as it is and you come. Look, somebody has to do this. I'm 64 years old. I thank God for everything. And I think what is left to me as a politician or expected of me is to speak out the truth to whoever he is. Now we have a big challenge, and that is the threat of hunger and food scarcity. It is not only that the prices or inflation has gone up to 40%, but it has gotten in some places where you will not, with your money, you won't find the food or the items you want to buy. That is very, very dangerous, and Nigeria has never been included in the countries that face severe food crisis or food insecurity. But this time around, check the figures recently, published by UN, World Food Program, Action Against Hunger, CADE Harmonize. They rank Nigeria as one of the hotspots. And for people like me, I have to be scared. As I told you, I'm 64 years old with 10 children and 20 grandchildren. I don't have passport or visa to anywhere. I don't have, you have more than one passport, I know. But
what do you mean I have more than one?
I know you
We're
stay
not
in
talking
London.
about me, we're talking about you.
You stay in Nigeria, you stay in London, and you can go to London tomorrow morning. I cannot do that because I don't have visa to anywhere.
Yeah, but I'm sure you wouldn't have too much of a challenge getting a visa.
No, you have to apply. No.
But let's focus.
So
yeah.
This is a very serious and scary situation, and most importantly, why I'm so scared is if those in power do not allow the president to know the magnitude or get informed about so that they do something, then you get worried. It's like now, Charles, we are here and the cloud is gathering. And I say, Charles, it's going to rain. You say, oh, no, don't worry. Then that is scary. If you know the president before now, then you know that the whole scenario has changed. This is somebody, he stays in Lagos. If you go to Bodilon, anytime, any day, anytime in the night, you can go to Bodilon 2 o'clock. And in most cases, you find President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, receiving people in and out. If you come to where he stays in Abuja here, Lagos, in the Lagos house, you will know from when you take a turn whether he's in town or not, any time of the day. There are times you can go there 3 in the night and you'll meet him there. But now, if you go to Villa, the front of Villa, it's like a graveyard. Truth. The only thing, the news media put certain things not exactly the way. So now that I'm talking to you, hear it from the horse's mouth.
Absolutely.
In every government, it's like that. You have the gatekeepers. Those who want the president to know everything and to have other opinions would even encourage those that matter in the government to come over because, during Buhari's administration, which I thought was not that good. But if you compare this now to Buhari's regime, you will give Buhari a thumbs up. Because
some would say that would be rather difficult to do.
Because at least he opens up, people come to see him. I'm quoting, you quote me, and if it's not true, I don't speak just like that.
Right.
There are some ministers don't have access to Mr. President. The only access they have to Mr. President is when they are maybe invited, and some may not be invited, or when they go for council meeting. And when they go for council, by the time the president goes in, all of them are seated. And the president is the first person to leave. You can't say, I want to, that is it. There is a procedure. And then the SGF, who is supposed to be the clearinghouse, I don't know about, I've not seen him most lately. But I'm telling you, Charles, I won't come to the TV or even in private lie.
So have you had a challenge in seeing the president yourself personally?
Well, let me tell you one thing. The president severally, if we meet in the public, he will say, Chief Ndume, why are you not coming? Why am I? And I said, no, Mr. President, when you look for me, I'll be there.
Did you say to him, well, he's not allowing me to come in?
I said it once to one of his staff, that they are the people that are keeping us out of this place. And so I will not struggle to come and see Mr. President, but I have an obligation to speak for the people, or speak for my people, or speak as a senator. You can imagine I am the chief whip. If a chief whip cannot have access to Mr. President, the new senators, of course.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, let me tell you. And let me tell you in difference to it. Obasanjo started, during his government, in 24 hours, if any senator wants to see him, nobody will ask him, what do you want to see the president for? He makes sure that within 24 hours, any senator has access to him. Ministers go in and out. Obasanjo, as old as he was older than our president, he will be saying, that is politics. You talk to the people, hear from the people. But now, to me, it seems, besides shielding Mr. President, they always give him assurance that everything is out there is all right out there. And that is not the case.
So
but if nothing is being done, then there can be crisis.
And your sense is that nothing is being done at
tangibly.
the moment. Right.
And the other thing is, as I said, I will still say what the president is caged in there. Let me use that word again. And there are no people speaking out or doing anything for the Nigerians to see visibly and make, appreciate the effort of the government. For example, now we are faced with climate change palaver. The rainy season in most, especially in the north and other elsewhere, is hazy. But nobody is telling people what needs to be done and what the government is doing. Nobody is talking to the people. That is a problem. That is my concern, as I said.
Yeah, well, some would argue that that's not entirely fair, because you've got the agencies, I mean, that are in charge. Well, the National Emergency Management Agency, you've got the Ministry of Environment, he's just appointed somebody who used to be his spokesman, I think it's Ajuri Ngilale, as a kind of special climate envoy. I mean, so they're not unaware of what is going on, and I'm not their spokesman. I'm just saying that they're not unaware of what is going on. And every time there's a lot of talk and alerts are put out about the potential for flooding and so on and so forth. So they do try to draw the attention of people to things. But what I wanted to ask you is that, looking at the things that you've pointed out and the way things are going at the moment with the economy and with the fiscal situation in this country, the people, as you said clearly, feeling the pinch of it as inflation goes through the roof, do you believe we're going to see real growth in this country anytime soon?
Yeah, it's possible, because Nigeria is so blessed with natural and human resources. But no matter how blessed you are and how much...
You have to harness those resources.
That is the problem now.
Yeah.
And that's why we are calling on the president to harness those resources.
Absolutely.
And if for you to do that, you must have people out there that know Nigeria in the first place.
So he needs to engage more.
He needs to get the right people into the office, and he needs to be a Democrat. This is not allegation. I said this government is dominated by khaki strokers and kleptocrats.
Yeah.
He needs to dominate his government.
But that's always been the story of Nigerian governments, hasn't it?
He needs to dominate his government with Democrats.
Right.